All right, now there's a little bit missing here. That's what it says in the Maimer. So the world is created in a way that's what's called Olam Shana V'Nefesh, world, physical, spiritual, and time. Physical, spiritual, and time. Olam is physical, Nefesh is spiritual, and Shana is time. Or to put them in the order the right puts, Olam Shana V'Nefesh. This is the way the world is created. There's a little bit missing over here. See this number 4? There's a little bit missing that they, for some reason, got left out. So Olam means two things. One time, Olam means a creation. It's a creation. The world, Olam Hazeh, etc. Olam also means eternal. The Olam Voed, to create things. Olam also means concealment. Helem, concealment. So our job is to take the Olam and reveal the infiniteness of Hashem. Me olam ad olam, like it says, from world to world. The olam voed, to reveal God's infiniteness in the helem, in the concealment of the world. This world, God created it in a way that He would be concealed from us. Ulamaylahu inyan malchut. Okay, this is the whole topic of God's kingship. Like we say in our prayers, Adon Olam Asher Malach, B'terem Kol Yitzur Nivra, that God was the king and He ruled before anything was made. And it was before there was spirit, time, world. There was God's kingship. What is God's kingship? Now God has a personality. This is, in the Zohar, it's called the secret of faith. God has a personality. Because of this personality, God interacts with us. God reacts to what we do. This is the big antidote to idolatry. Idolatry says that God is too high. He doesn't react to our prayers. He doesn't interact with us. Once in a while, God, He decides on His own to take us out of Egypt. He decides, but we don't have any effect on God. So what do? If you want, let's say your son is you want money, you want health, you want this. So you pray to a star, you pray to an angel, pray to a person, and He takes care of it. This Judaism says is idolatry. What is so how does God really interact with us? That's the secret of what's called God's 10 sfirot. God's 10 spheres of personality. That's one of the meanings when it says that man is created in the image of God. Man also has these 10 sfirot. Like it says, from my flesh, from my personality, I can have a little bit of an idea of what God is. So true, God is infinite, and true, God is totally above the world, and God is in a way, impossible to have any effect on God. Yes, but on the other hand, God set the world up in such a way that He does react to what we do. And this is the idea of God's 10 spheres, God's personality. The lowest of these 10 spheres of God's personality is called Malchut. Malchut is God's power of creation. And we say it every day, and we're supposed to say it 100 times. Baruch atah Hashem, Melech Olam. God, You are the King of the world. King of the world means You create everything. It's known that Malchut, V'gam Amidot, also God's emotions, Hem Bechinet Olam U'Makom. Also, God's emotions, which is God's kindness, 7 emotions of God. Chesed, Gevura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, and Malchut. Sometimes it's only called, Malchut is not called one of God's emotions, but rather the revelation of God's emotions. But nevertheless, God has emotions. There's things that God likes, things that God is severe. He has God's beauty, God's personality, God's beauty, God's giving. Sometimes God withholds. That's the idea of Netzach, Hod, Yesod. These different aspects. You can look in the Tanya. He explains what these are. Nevertheless, the world was created in 7 days. According to the Bible, the world was created in 7 days. 7 days means exactly 7 days. But let's say, according to all their opinions, it doesn't mean 7 generations, 7 billions of years, whatever. But there are 7. God creates the world in 7. I don't really understand what brings people to say that they believe that God created the world, but it can't be in 7 days. I mean, this is just a parenthetical statement. I don't understand what is bothering people. I mean, if you do believe that God created the world already, you believe that God created the world, so what is the big problem with that he created it in 7 days? I mean, what's the problem?
What's even stranger is they will run to believe a story like Star Wars or something.
No. I'm talking about religious. No, there's a lot of religious Jews, genuinely religious Jews. There was one even a big scientist. He was a religious Jew, and he was a professor or whatever. And the Rebbe tried to convince him that what it says, 6 days, the world was created in 6 days, means exactly 6 days, and that the world is exactly, and he didn't accept it. He didn't accept it. Oh. Let me just ask him if he's...